Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US tech stocks, and starting with the S&P 500 here on the weekly chart here, just to give us the overall picture. And obviously leading stocks are creating this picture. Now, different tech stocks have got different patterns to the upside, but this is pretty much the consensus of the general pattern to the upside for most stocks. So we're looking at wave 1 and 2 here, and then going all the way up for wave 3, 4 and 5 here for wave 1, and back for wave 2, and then continuing to the upside. Don't pay any attention to these top targets here. It's just something that we need to work through in terms of counting the structure to the upside. So going from wave 4 here, going up to wave 5 here, and this is what we sort of need to understand with stocks as well, this 5-wave structure here. So what we're really waiting for is the top of the first wave here. So we've got long trades in the market, and we've been moving out, and we'll continue to move out, but we want this low of wave 2 coming in here, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. So let's just take this to the daily chart for a moment. So this wave 4 here, and looking at 5 waves to the upside of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. And then the ABC pattern will be going long above the B wave here. That said, obviously we're going to try to improve that and get the first impulse wave here and work that. Obviously the other thing that we need to sort of understand as well is that we've got these 5 waves up here, and we are making a high here. There is a slim chance that we may need to bring wave 5 down here for this top. So this is why we'll just need to work through this particular correction here. And wave 2s are normally swift and sharp, like this one here. So we won't panic. We're just going to work through it. It'll be some financial event as such. So at the moment, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The NASDAQ counts a little bit differently in this particular trend, but it's still putting wave 4 low in place here. And obviously the US has Memorial Day, so the volumes were low on Friday, and won't be back until they're ready to come back on the Tuesday, I guess. So that's where we are for the S&P, and so if I look at this here, this little wave 4 here going up here for the NASDAQ, this is it here, this little wave 4 here going up to wave 5 here. So we'll be looking at, there's a little 1 and 2 in here. We'll need this this little move here to give us the first wave here. Then there's going to be a little ABC pattern here for wave 2, and then there's going to be wave 3, 4 and 5 up here for this wave 1 here, and then some type of ABC pattern coming back. How far it comes back, I'm not sure. And then we can label this here wave 5 of 1 and wave 2 over here. And this is the one that we've been talking about last week and so on, is looking for this particular trend to the upside here for that. So we'll be building in over here for this. So in this case here, we've been looking at this wave 4 here, looking for wave 1 here, and then coming back for wave 2. Now wave 2, as I mentioned, can come back the normal 50-60%, so it can come back deeper here. So we just need to be a little bit mindful of that. If you've taken part profit here, we'll talk about this in the indices a little bit more, then we'll need to take profit over here for this. Okay, so that's kind of where we are. You get the sort of picture there, and we can take this over to stock. And with stock here, this is Apple here, and with Apple here, we're looking at, let me just bring this into the fold. Just before we start on the stocks, what I wanted to say is that with TradingLounge, now that we've got more than a half a dozen analysts now, what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and over the next week, we're going to try to all use the same color labeling on on the markets. So that's just going to make things a little bit easier. So if we break down these groups of Elliott degrees here, for instance, what we're going to do is we're going to have the top one here, orange, blue, and grey. So orange, blue, and grey, orange, blue, and grey, orange, blue, and grey. So if all our analysts use this, then we'll know what degree of structure that we're not what colour, what identifying the label. The other thing that we're going to start working on next week, and it will probably take a good couple of weeks to sort out, is the degrees of structure as well, because it's always been a little bit of an issue. So we're going to try and sort that out. So that means that because on a daily chart, for example, one of the analysts might be using sub-minuet on a daily chart. Not to say that's wrong or right. Somebody might be using, where one analyst is using one of these wave ones, another analyst may be using this wave one here, so they're quite completely different here. So what we're going to do, we're going to, over the weeks ahead, we're going to put a little bit of thought into getting all our labeling and coloring correct. So that's what we'll be working on. So make it a little bit easier. So when you go to look at a chart, you will know straight away what it is, because with TradingLounge you've got access to forex, commodities, and stocks. I mean, if you're trading stocks and one of the stocks is a commodity, well then you want to be able to go to that commodity and have a look, and find out that particular labeling. So in this Apple chart here, I've just sort of labeled it's a little bit colorful, I know, but this is basically how it will sort of look at this point. So it'll be changing a little bit, and on TradingView as well. So these are the sort of colors. Like before, I would have had this here as green, you see, and so it's going to change a little bit, and this is how it's going to look. But anyway, we'll be doing that over the week ahead. So anyway, in this particular instance here for Apple, we've got wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're going up for wave 5 here. So in the other charts here, when we were looking at this NASDAQ here going up for this orange wave 1 here, this orange wave 1, as we move forward, will end up being a grey wave 1 here. So this will be this grey wave 1 up here. So so it's going to take a little while to get used to, and it's going to take all the analysts a little while to get used to as well. But I think at the end of the day, color coding everything so we're all on the same page, and also getting all the degrees of structure correct is going to be beneficial for anyone viewing the charts. That said, what we're looking for here is from this wave 4 here, we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up through here. And if we just drill into this little section here for a moment, what I wanted to just talk about, just to help verify the situation, so we're going to go from 1,000 ticks to 100 ticks and look at this little area in here, and this is it here. So we've got this, I feel like I'm on the right track, but I just want to be able to verify it. So in this case, if we look at wave 3 and 4 here, then we're going to be looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. So what I want to say in terms of verifying the move to the upside, if we can take out the top here for Apple, that will make that a wave 4, and then that will make that a wave 5 here. And what that means is it means that now you've verified that we're actually going to be going to the upside here from this wave 4. So we'll have wave 1 and 2 here, and you'll be able to if you wish, you can go along above the B wave here as an A and a B and a C wave here. So just getting that extra top here will give this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's kind of one way to validate that we will be going higher when you come back from holidays. I mean, obviously you'll see the market go up as well, but it's nice to be able to say for sure what's what, and that's how we can identify it there with Apple. Okay, so Amazon's a little bit tricky, and so is Tesla. They've got slightly different patterns as well. And when you think about when we think about the I mean, even though that different markets can have different patterns, on an intraday basis, they kind of move the same. So when we look at this situation here for the NASDAQ here for a moment, when we're looking here at going up for wave 4 here and then going up for wave 5 of 1. I mean, technically what can happen here is that from this low here to this high here, it can pull back to the 50-60%, which is around here somewhere. So it could have quite a deep pullback in this area here. It could pull all the way down to here before going up again. So that's quite a deep movement here, right? So, but as far as the intraday basis goes, is we go up here for 5 waves and then we pull back. Do we go back into support here, or do we go a bit deeper? So the point of this up and down business here, where would that leave this market here? Because what would happen here, I've got this here as up for wave 1 here with an A wave and a B wave in here, and then we've been working through as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, waiting for another low to come in. So, but still that couldn't be the thing there. But if the rest of the market, just as I mentioned, is going to have a little 5 waves to the to the upside basically, right? And then they're going to come down and probably take out this low here. That means that we may have to change this here and have this sitting over here for this, and look at this here as the A wave here, some sort of B wave over here, because it'll just go up. These other markets here have already gone up into 5 waves, so they've got 3 waves to go. So this one here will end up being like this here roughly. So we may have to look at it like this. It's not that we're going to go long in this yet. We're not in the right space to go long. Now it doesn't have to come back down this far either, but we may. What I'm trying to say is we're going to get some sort of weirdness in here. So we're not going to go long at the moment, and we don't want to go long at the moment. We don't. We've been long in many markets, and it's time to be scaling out of those markets. This is Nvidia here, and it's obviously moving along quite nicely. So once again, from this wave 4 here, the same as the NASDAQ and the S&P, we're going up for wave 1 here, and then we're going to come back for wave 2. Now, how far we come back for wave 2, I don't know. But in this case here, we should be looking at, not quite this, we should be looking at this going up for little wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5. It will probably run out of steam, and then do something like this here as a wave 2 coming into play here, something like this before going up. Now it may not, but we just have, this is something that we just have to work through, that's all. So we know we're going to get a little 5 waves up here, and we'll see how that sort of plays out at this point. Once we've got that top and bottom in here, I mean, the normal Elliott Fibonacci thing to do is to look at this here and then look at the 50-60% retracement level area, which is here. Now, like I said, it may or may not come back down to this area through here. We don't know that yet. It's something that we just need to work through. It might be, the buying pressure might still be there at that particular point. We don't know. So, but you could imagine some profit taking coming on into the market when we've seen this strong move here, and then we're not seeing much of a strong move here, so we probably get like a very weak 5 waves up here, and then it will roll over and stops will get taken out and drop it back into the 1,000 and all those sort of things. So just be very careful about that if you're long, where this is the time to get to be taking profits and not in swing trading short term anyway. So over to meta platforms here. So we're looking for the same thing. This market's been a bit sluggish. It hasn't taken out the top here, but in its own way, we're looking at blue 1, blue 2 here. Let's just move these, and blue 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then going up for wave 5 here, and then wave 2 here. Now, obviously, there's some good support across this trading levels group 2 here in this space for this. But if you've taken this trade here, then you need to be out at the at the 500 here, as simple as that, because what we'll be viewing here is we'll be looking at a little 1 in here and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 in here, and then we're going to be looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. Now obviously there's good support across these tops here and also in here, but how far it comes back, I don't know. Something we're going to have to work through. And then our long trade will be over here, building into the first impulse wave over here. This is where we'll start building in from over here and over here, and then through group 1 here we'll be building in over here as well. So that's really where we are. And you know, the narrative really hasn't changed from last week. We just, you know, we had to wait for wave 4, we're looking for wave 5, and then we'll look for the ABC, and then we'll start to move in and those sorts of things. So yeah, all pretty easy at this point. And Netflix, so with Netflix here, from this wave 4 we're looking at 1 and 2 and going up for 3 and 4 here. I could play this out differently here. I could put green wave 4 over here, which probably looks a lot better, and then look at this as 1, 2 and have a green wave 4 here. But you know, the thing is I've got to kind of tie it into the rest of the world as well. So in this instance here we're looking for 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 up here, and then the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave. How far it comes back, we don't know. We just got to count 5 waves within this particular structure. That's all we need to do. And we don't need to buy the bottom here either. We just wait for the first impulse wave to come up and wait for the ABC pattern, and then we can go long from that point. And if we can get 1 or 2 positions under this large number, then we can build on top of this large number. So that's where we are for this market and most markets as well. Now Google's a little bit different, and we're looking from this wave 4, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for 1 and 2, and then 3, 4, 5 up here. So we've got some positions in here and still 1 down here somewhere, but basically we can take part profit here, and we can look to build in back over here for all of this as well, and go up to the 200 there and then exit at that point. So you might want to take all the money off the table at this point here too, depending on how far you're stacked up, or if you're chilled, then you can just wait it out a little bit and so on. But how far this wave 2 comes back, that's also a little bit of an unknown at this point. And then we come to Microsoft. So I've changed this count a little bit. I've put, I'm looking at wave 3 here with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And then looking at this as the A wave, the B wave, and a C wave here that's a bit truncated. And because I want to bring it into the same wave 1 as the other markets as well, I feel a bit more comfortable about that. There's probably 2 ways that you could do that, but at the same time, yeah, like I say, on an intraday basis, they're all going to pretty much be doing the same thing. So, and it'll be this 3rd wave here that we want to catch at this point. So there's an old high here. It's not going to go far. We'll be looking at a classic trading levels pattern across that level there. So we've had this one, and now we'll be moving up to the next one here for this. So that's where that is. Nothing to do here. We'll just wait for that pullback. And then we come over to Tesla. And we know that the other markets need to push up a little bit. So it's quite possible that we can push up. This looks a little bit impulsive here. So we could probably push up into here somewhere. And then when the other markets pull back, as well, then this can pull back in here. It'll be something like this here. It may go a little bit higher. We may end up even getting 5 waves up here, and then some type of correction coming back here. So it might end up as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, some sort of leading diagonal or some weird thing. But what I do know is that it's not ready, and we need to be over here. So we'll just see when the NASDAQ is here on this wave 2 low, we'll just see where Tesla is at that point, and then we can move into it. But certainly not at this stage. We need to take in the general markets, unless he's got any announcements that's going to sort of drive the market somewhere. Yeah, I mean, the main thing here is that it's being resistance at 200, And all of this here, this is all of group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80, which is the support. So I just think it's going to drift sideways, up and down, sideways, until we're ready to go. So to get our timing perfect, we just don't need to do anything at this particular point. We just need the rest of the tech stocks to fall into place, and Tesla will end up folding into place as well. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.